Hey everyone, Phi Farley here. It's the 9th of January. Got a best bet coming to you in college basketball. 1 second. Got a good pick I like a lot today on one of my favorite conferences, so I'm going to get to that in 1 second. Coming off I kind of went with a favorite at home and didn't pan out with LSU yesterday. Arkansas played really well, and LSU I feel like they were outcoached. So anyway, game went to the Arkansas side. Wasn't able to cover, even though LSU did get a 2-point win. Anyway, looking to bounce back today. Yesterday was actually a winning day for me. Overall, went 4-2. So, I'll take that in the end. But before I get into today's play, let me say first real quick, thank you to those who have subscribed. I appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, take a second to do so. Sorry about a couple trucks here rolling by. I'm once again on the road, but I want to get this pick out to you real quick. Also, there's a video I put out on pregame. I was looking to put that video out a long time ago, and if I were just getting into sports betting, as in within my first 5 years, that would be information I'd really want to know sometime in that first 5 years. So if you haven't checked that out, take a second, check that video out. It's not like the most high end graphics or anything like that, but the content is what I think is some of the most important information that you could get when starting your capping experience. So it does take a long time to get into the sports betting world and to understand lines and how to cap games correctly, and there's a lot of humbleness that comes along that path. Sometimes you just have to experience it, but you could do. I tell my kids you can learn one of two ways. You can either learn from experience, which is the difficult way, or you can learn from others, and you can learn a whole lot more if you listen to others. So, I always surround yourself by good, knowledgeable people you trust. So there you go. Check that video out if you haven't done so already. All right, so let's talk about today. We got a good slate of games tonight, and I'm going to go to the Big Sky here, going to Sacramento State. So this line is set up at 124, 123.5. You can get either one. My book has 123.5, so I'm going to take that total. Sacramento State is one of the slowest paced teams in the country, and really, I think they're slower than even what KP has them slated at 333rd. What's funny is they have this odd dynamic of a terrible offense and a really good defense, and that holds these teams in check. In fact, so KenPom has their defense the 78th ranked defense in the entire country. Meanwhile, their offense is 306th, which has allowed them to cover in 8 of the 10 games that have a line to them. They're 8-4 overall. They've covered, like I said, 8 out of 10. 2 of those were against Division II schools, so they don't get a line for that. So, as we look at this, if Santa Clara, the number 70th ranked offense in the country, cannot get over this number, they scored 117 total in that game. If they can't get over this number, there's no way Northern Arizona can. Or I shouldn't say no way. It's likely they don't get over that. If Cal State Fullerton couldn't do it, Colorado got to 104. There's not a team yet this year other than Pepperdine, which is one of the fastest paced teams in the country, that has gotten over this 123.5 number. So, and especially in conference, Montana State ended up at a 117. Montana ended up at a 102. Idaho State ended up at a 117. I think we're going to have a very similar outcome here with NAU. NAU offense is not exactly not one of the most high-paced teams in the conference. This is not one to circle and say, well, be aware this is going to be the game that goes over. Let me look up their offensive rank and their tempo. 235th offensive tempo rank, and then offensive rating 206th. So not even in the top half of the country is Northern Arizona. They're a fair team in the Big Sky. Sacramento State being at home is going to control this tempo. I expect another low-scoring game. I'm going 123.5 under in this one as the best bet of the day. There you go. Good luck, everyone. Check out that other video if you haven't yet, and we'll see you again soon.